you rolled in right after I was, what is this roll right here that I don't even know? Sorry. I don't know what roll that is, but that was white red. And then I think I took a left on walnut and pulled the back and came the back way and then
Hi Craig, how you doing?
All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, well, we made it. It took cold weather and now a train, apparently, to hold us back. We got it. Awesome. So welcome to the Tundra ToolSlam. This is year 4. So thank you all for coming. Give everyone a big round of applause. All right, so a little bit about the audience. With the weather today, we're a little bit down, but we had 140 pre-registered. We're at about, I think, 120 right now, which is really good. The coolest thing is that both times we posted this event, it filled up in just under 48 hours, and the other time just after 48 hours. So that's really awesome. So I appreciate that. And then the neatest thing about this is that we have 15 different school districts represented, which is really cool. So let's see how we did here. All right. So looking at what I just asked, oh, cool. So we have 42% first time here. That's awesome. Got 31.5. Ooh, wow, look at that instant stats. 12.9% all 4. Stand up if you've been to all 4. Woohoo! All right. Awesome. My wife had to stand up, so I'm sorry. I made her come. All right, cool. Networking next to a brewery. That's always important. I'm going to take that feedback. That's great. Awesome. I wonder who that was, Scott. All right, here we go.
We get the brewer on the other side.
I told them we would put a skywalk. All right, just a quick review of the format tonight. We're going to do 2 different sessions. Each session is going to include 5 presenters. There's going to be 1 minute of transition between. They'll have 5 minutes to share the tool. And then at the end of the session, there's going to be a little bit of a breakout time. For those of you who have been here in the past, because of the size of the group, we kind of spread it out a little bit this year. We will be in the cafeteria area around the corner where there's some snacks provided by Camera Corner. In that area, there's going to be large group settings, tables, and areas for the 5 presenters to go with a projector. So if you have any follow-up questions to dig deeper, you can ask them. They'll be there. Also, upstairs in the mezzanine, there's some places where you can stand and talk and sit, and there's snacks. There's student artwork on display right now. That's more casual up there. If you want to go up there and hang out, you can do that as well. So that way we can kind of spread out. The exact same food is in both locations. And then also, the museum is open for us tonight too. So if you want to explore the museum, you can do that. There's some things. All their normal exhibits are here, but their current exhibits, which are really cool for us right now, they have our Brown County, which is the history of Brown County, to check out. Upstairs, they have student artwork that includes many students from our district. And then they currently have, I always forget the name of it, don't tell me, something...
Delay of game.
Delay of game, thank you. Which is the history of African American Packer players, and that's very interesting if you want a chance to take a peek at that. So, with that, oh, I almost forgot. I want to thank quickly Camera Corner and Neville Public Museum. Beth, want to wave? Let's add it, Beth.
Thank you for being here.
My favorite part about this event is a completely free, cost-neutral event. Beth and the Neville Museum donate the space. Camera Corner donates the snacks. All the presenters are giving up their time to just do this, and it's no cost to you guys, so it's a completely zero-cost event, and hopefully it's valuable professional development. And that's our goal always for this event. So with that, are we ready to get started? Yeah. All right. Brian, you ready? All right, first up is Jen.
GimKit, kind of new-ish on the market, was created by a high school student in Seattle, and he plans on working on it after high school because it's just completely blown up. It's like Kahoot, except it's on track, which is what everybody says, because the kids can earn money. So correct answers give them a positive money, wrong answers make them lose money, and they can either save it up after each question, or they can cash it in for fabulous things, like freezing out an opponent, getting more money per question. Kids love it, and you can do it. One of the biggest things about Kahoot is that it always has to be live, and with GimKit, yes, it can be live, but you can also assign it out as like homework. So if you put your kids in as a class, and then make it an assignment, and assign it out to that class, they can go home and work on it. One of the things our elementary just did is Marathon of Knowledge, and all of the questions were put into GimKit, and the kids could go home at night and practice with their parents, which was really great. How to join a game. So very similar to Kahoot, where you get a code, and the kids go there. If you assign it out, they can pick their name from a drop-down list. This is the shop, a little bit about some of the streak bonuses and multipliers they can buy with their money. And then you get this awesome report. Do not print it. It's like 190 pages. So when you're done with one class, say a 30-minute quiz, you really truly get like 190 pages, because they break down everything. They break down what your class did, percentage-wise per question. They break down each student, what their pros were, what their cons were, what things they were really good at, and it's pretty phenomenal. All right, you guys ready to try it? All right. You're only allowed to freeze out Scott.
Definitely not using my name.
So you go to gimkit.com/play, and then this is the code that you enter. And then once I start seeing kids join, or seeing your names pop up on the list, then I can start the game.
Is there Wi-Fi here?
Yeah, it's free public. Your phone should find it.
Yep, it's timed out while I'm waiting, sorry. Let's try. I'm blaming the train.
Survivors.
Hashtag train slam instead of ToolSlam. All right, so try this code. There we go. Now I'm seeing people populate. So I will start the game. It gets really awesome mood music.
You're the gamer.
Ooh, you've got Amanda in the lead right now. Close second is Dowling. My apologies. Hey, you guys are almost done. I know I'm out of time. We've got 9 seconds left of the game. Okay, third place was Kai. Second place was Amanda, and first place was Cece.
Cece, stand up, Cece, and wave. Hey! All right, let's all give a big hand to Jen for hearing. Awesome. Okay, the other cool thing about the ToolSlam is that we've reached out to local vendors to donate prizes. So between every tool, we're going to be randomly selecting someone that's here, and you'll win a prize. So this first prize is going to be $45 in gift cards to Heartland Pizza, and a headset with Mike from Camera Corner. Josh. What, you want claps? Yeah. No, I don't. Okay. What do you got? To spin the randomizer?
All right. Magical randomizer. Watch, there's no trigger.
Wait a minute.
The winner is Lala.
Pikowski. So they weren't on the list. So they...
Yeah.
Winner, Craig. All right.
We're going there after Craig.
Sure.
All right, next up to share Scratch 3.0 is Brian.
First of all, thank you all to Jen Layden. I got 88. None of the answers are A, just so you know. None of the answers. Okay, so how many of you are familiar with Scratch at all? Scratch? Give me a meow. Yeah, there we go. Because of course, everyone's familiar with meow because that's of course what the kids do. Well, in January, the lifelong kindergarten group at MIT Media Lab has updated Scratch to Scratch 3.0. For those of you that don't know, Scratch is a visual programming language. It started in 2007 and has over 15 million projects out there. So it's a pretty safe, pretty familiar coding kind of kit for a lot of kids to use. And so I wanted to go over some of the highlights of Scratch 3.0. Some of us didn't even know there was a 1.0, right? Yeah, so Scratch 3.0, one of the biggest updates is that it is iPad friendly. This used to run on Flash, and so now it's updated so that it is actually working in the iPad kind of area here. There's updated sprites. If you don't know, sprites are the characters like the cat there. And there's updated backgrounds. The interface is a little bit different. If you take a look, you can see, you can like program where the sprite is, and it's using like an X and Y coordinate plane. So there's a lot of math that you can have students do in terms of telling where the sprite should be, where it should go, and there's a lot of even if-then kind of situations that way. So it's a very easy visual programming language that way. There's new sounds. The sound editor has updated a little bit as well. And so just being on the iPad makes it very, very user-friendly there. There used to be, or there still is, a Scratch Junior that's on the iPad, but now this is accessible on almost any device that way. So one of the biggest things they have is new extensions are available within Scratch 3.0 that allow you to connect your creations to the physical world. So you might have maybe, anyone makey out there? Yeah? If you know this fellow here, this is Milo from Lego We Do, right? So you can actually program Scratch and have Scratch control objects in the real world and vice versa. Those objects can control something in Scratch as well. And so this is a pretty handy tool that way. So this is kind of cool. Just, first of all, a little asterisk program there. So you can pew, pew, pew all day. But, yeah, you can just control it. This is the best part. I was doing this the other day. And I'm doing this in the library. And kids are walking by going, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm getting ready for a presentation. And, but you can control things like that. Now, this works with Chromebooks. There are a few of these other extensions that also work with Chromebooks, but not all of them. Unfortunately, for some of these things, you have to have a Scratch Link, which works on Mac and PC. But definitely is worthwhile because you can do other things, like in this case, you can control Legos with Scratch and vice versa. Think about that, coding out a story with Scratch and then making Legos work, and vice versa, the Legos can make input there. You can put multiple devices on the Scratch and make them interact here. So this is a microbit, and then it's controlling the Lego through Scratch as well. So chickens are optional. Okay, one of the best things about Scratch, if you're not familiar, is the community guidelines. This is a tool that is, for the most part, safe for our youngest learners as well. And it reinforces digital citizenship terms here. So things like be respectable, be constructive, share, keep personal information private, be honest, and help keep the site friendly. a few years ago we saw some of the Scratch people that are working, and they talked about how they had banded together and worked to make sure that things like that they're safe for kids, basically, and they take the feedback from the community in order to monitor that. I think one of the biggest pieces of this is it allows students to practice remixing. And this is not when your Kool-Aid doesn't taste regular. It's, you got to make sure that remixing, of course, is taking someone else's idea and trying to rebrand it as your own. You can also see inside, so you can see how someone else solved this problem. But this is a great way for us to introduce basically the media world to our students as well. I can talk a lot about how we can use Scratch in the Common Core ELA, and you may have heard about Mitch Resnick, who is one of the founders of Scratch, and talking about how we can have kids learn to code, but also code to learn. I would take that another step and say that we can have kids use Scratch to make presentations to show what they've learned. And so we think about that with including audio, responding of characters to situations, multimedia components, producing and published writing, collaborating, interacting, strategic use of digital media. It's got it all. If you don't know where to start, there are a slew of tutorials that students can just get started on. And one thing that's actually really cool is once you get started with this, they have activity guides. So students get started with activity guides. You can even print out, these are called programming cards basically, so you can, or coding cards basically, you can hand to students and have them do something with that. Last but not least, you can request an educator account where you can set up classes, have students join, monitor their work, and also reset passwords as necessary. I'm done.
Nice job, Brian. Let's give Brian one more round of applause. All right. The next giveaway, Josh, are you ready back there? Maybe. There he is. The next giveaway is a gift bag from Willow Clothing Company. Includes a sweatshirt, long sleeve shirt, and a gift certificate to the shop. All right. Oh, by the way, as you're learning, please use, if you're a Twitter user, please use hashtag Tundra19. Some of the things we've been doing, if the companies who have donated have either a Facebook page or a Twitter account, we've been listing that on there so we can thank them for it later. Also, after today, we will upload this slideshow and the video of the event to the TundraSlam.com site to check back up for later. So Josh, what do you got?
We have Christina Henkel.
Yay, Christina, all right. Hey. And next up is the dream team, Amanda and Angela.
I was really hoping that I was going to say Angela Jury, but I did win the laptop last year, so I guess I got to hold off a little bit. We're here to talk to you about Google Mystery Number Hangout. So I'm Angela, this is Amanda. And the curricular connections to a Google Number Mystery Hangout. I usually do the Mystery Number Hangout, and my kids call other classes all across the country, and we're trying to guess their number that they have hidden, and we do questions back and forth, or wait for the clues that the other kids are going to tell us. If you're using anything like math expressions, it fits into the core curriculum, so I'm going to go into detail about the core curriculum. Just kidding. Just kidding, yeah. You can also do a location like map skills or a geography mystery hangout and find out where they're from by asking questions. You can do K5, K12, it doesn't matter, you make it fit what you have in your own classroom. So, next steps.
So really what you need to do if you want to do this is you're gonna, once you have someone to connect with, you send a calendar invite, that creates a Hangout link. Now some of you might be saying, we don't have Hangouts anymore. We have Google Meet. It'll send a Google Meet invitation, so it works. And if you still have Hangout, you can go on Google Meet. It all will work together, so you don't have to worry about that. You can assign some jobs to your students, do a practice run, that always helps, so that you're ready to go. And then making sure students have some recording sheets or any materials or manipulatives that you think will help your class. So it's going to be a little bit different for each class, but we have some people in the audience that do these in different manners in our district that I think know that, you know, it's pretty simple. We send that invite, do a practice run, and then make it happen.
If you don't want to print out all those things, you can just have a whiteboard and go forward, and your kids get trained and they do a really good job. This is my class from last year. I looped with them, so we're pros at it now, 2 years together. So we have happy and sad little faces because sometimes the volume on the Google Hangout doesn't work so good. They introduce themselves, and sometimes we have a number strip to help, and they ask a little question.
Here we go. Oh, no. Good job. Yeah, right? There.
The video's worth it. So whether we're working on addition or multiplication, we make it fit. Goes right along with our math series. About 20 to 30 minutes we take with another class, and then we get time to ask questions. There's a lot of digital citizenship that goes with this, and how to act appropriately on camera, and watching other classes act appropriately too. How to set one up. So Amanda and I work together at creating a Google Hangout calendar and form, and then sheets to go with it.
And when you get the presentation later, you'll find out that these are clickable links that will create a copy in your drive if you want any of the documents. Finding a connection, one of the best places is on Google+. It is going away in some respects, but not for educators. So these groups, they're also clickable links. You can go to those groups, join those groups, and post your spreadsheet, and then people will sign up. And then you send your calendar link, and you're set to go. And then we're kind of running out of time, so this will walk you through how to create that Hangout or Meet. And we have some resources that are clickable there too as well. So for printables that you can use with your class. And we did just start doing some in kindergarten with mystery words too. We've been working with Ashwaubenon on that, so it's been kind of cool. So a lot of different things out there to do. And we're done.
One last thing, if you don't think you can do it, my 69-year-old mom did one today and read a book to my class for Read Across America, so she can do it. Anybody can do it, so.
All right, let's give Amanda and Angela one more round of applause. All right, the next giveaway is 4 tickets to the Packer Hall of Fame. Also, a 6-outlet surge protector with a 12-foot power cord, so a big surge protector from, yeah. All right. And the winner is? There.
Leslie Isles.
All right. All right, next up is Cliff talking about Flipgrid. Thank you. How many of you have already caught the fever? How many of you have Flipgrid? All right, so if I need help, there's a bunch of other people in here to help with that. Perfect. So Flipgrid, if you haven't seen it, haven't heard of it, you might need to crawl out from the rock for a little bit. But it is really a video discussion platform that amplifies student voice. It gives them the opportunity to share, to discuss, to read in some cases. In a video-based platform. It's web-based, it's also app-based if you have iPads
The neat part about Flipgrid is it really gives students an opportunity to engage with one another. Students that might normally not have the ambition to talk in front of other students come alive in Flipgrid by recording a video. They reply to each other, provide feedback through videos. They continue to unroll and unveil new and updates. A lot of these customized teacher feedback and grading inside of Flipgrid has allowed teachers to individualize and personalize feedback to students, provide them a video back that only the student can see. You have public and private grids based upon your desire. A lot of grids that might be used for professional development are public. Inside of classrooms are very private and only students or anybody with the code can access. And again, it's app-based or web-based depending on your need. This slide will give you lots of different ideas on how to use Flipgrid with students. Many of the elementary classrooms are doing read to self and read to others so that they have an opportunity to listen back. Some classrooms are doing the old school book report as I learned it in school and sharing book talks that way. A lot of students using math talk as well and sharing reasoning. In the middle school and high school level, one of the interesting concepts I just saw the other day was a middle school using it for a virtual band conference. We're in Wisconsin, right? We've had too many snow days. Band teacher decided to start recording all of the students in their band lessons, and he's uploaded them that way to Flipgrid, and it's a virtual conference to share with the school, with the parents, but a lot of different variety of uses. Once a student submit, I think this is probably the most powerful aspect that I've seen lately inside of Flipgrid, is that as a teacher, you have a lot of power to provide feedback to that student directly on his or her video. You can leave a vibe, which is the top part of the video, and it highlights it on the whole student classroom grid, like awesome work. Think of a vibe as a sticker you might put on a worksheet, so to speak. The big green box is the private video feedback, where you can record some feedback directly to the individual student and email that student your feedback so that they get it directly and nobody else can really see it. You can use the star feature up on top to feature a video. If you've ever used Flipgrid or seen it, there's a big grid of all the student responses. By featuring it, you actually put those first, second, or third, and they stay there almost as student sample work for other students to see maybe a high quality or to generate ideas. You can add it to a mixtape. You can collect any of your student responses into this big mixtape and share that mixtape out publicly so that other teachers, other parents, classrooms can kind of see what you've been doing. Again, you can leave written and text-based comments. And you can actually share these videos using a link with parents, classrooms, or families. One of the elementary teachers that I serve, I'm a technology coach, actually did a Redbox theme right before conferences. And had student pictures along with their QR code right underneath, talking about their favorite book and why they like it. As parents were waiting, they could scan any one of them and watch a video of any of the students in that case. You also have the opportunity to share this and co-pilot it with other teachers in your building and actually across the globe. The grid itself is a classroom, and you share the classroom with another teacher, and you can create multiple topics to kind of talk about. You both then have access to watch all of the videos, provide feedback, like, share, all of that kind of good stuff. And they also have incorporated a Grid Pals community, similar to the Google Hangout, where you can connect with educators across the globe on certain topics. If you go into their actual Grid community, you can find people by the map, anywhere across the globe, see what content, what area, reach out and connect with them so that then your students can collaborate on a discussion post and talk about a book, talk about math, talk about current news in the regions that they're in. And finally, one of the creative ways that I have encouraged some teachers that are very tech friendly is to start using it with app smashing, chatter picks, and having kids upload videos, as you can upload videos into that feature as well, or even some of the green screen apps and recording videos so that they can upload videos into Flipgrid that way. A lot of resources if you need them, but I think my time's up.
All right, thank you, Cliff. Next prize giveaway, right? All right, here we go. The next prize giveaway is a behind-the-scenes tour of the Neville Public Museum. They'll take you up into the kind of hidden areas of the museum, and they have all sorts of just really cool artifacts and things on display. Ryan, you want to give a big wave back there? They've got, yeah, so Ryan, well, I don't know if Ryan will be part of that or not, but Ryan, he's brought me up there before.
Hey, a little extra I can be.
Nice. Awesome. All right, Josh, go ahead. This is suspense.
Ashley Poplum.
Hey. Awesome. All right, our final session, our final presenter of the first session is Ben with Flippity.
From Flipgrid to Flipperty. Quick disclaimer for the Green Bay folks out there, the resources I'm going to share have not gone through the vetting process to be used with students. So we have the student data privacy thing, so we're definitely focusing on this for teachers and things, but I want to share out some of the really cool things you can do with Flippity. So if you go to flippity.net, they have all kinds of different resources that look like this. They'll give you a demo, so they'll give you an example of it, they'll give you instruction on how to use it, and then a Google Sheet template that you can make your own. So I've gone through a couple of them, and I'm going to click on one example here. So if you ever have issues with trying to get kids into groups, pick names, those kind of things, you can use a little spinner like this. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the cool music that goes with it. Or you could pull a single name person, or put people into groups. And some of the pictures that, for whatever reason, that come in, you can make teams, those kind of things. So I did not cyber stalk people to find the pictures. All right. And there's other ways to get groups. So that's one of the things I know that teachers have issues with, is trying to find quick and easy ways to get students into groups. So I thought that was a really cool example. This one I came across, and again, this was one that I can see being used with students, but again, we have to go through the process of making sure it's good practice and things. But with this one, you can create a word bank of words, and then the really cool thing is you give the student the list.
Tonic, T-O-N-I-C, tonic.
It does have that computer-based reading for it, but for some kids, seeing it and hearing it like that might help them build their fluency with it. So I put on here, I'm getting ahead of myself with the clicks. Well, this one I came across. Again, I'm not an elementary teacher, so I'm not saying this is best practice, but I thought it was kind of a cool way to get into spelling stuff. Timelines, for those that are looking for examples, especially history teachers, if you want to look at their example, the famous Mr. Rogers is their example, his whole life in there. But you can put in dates, you can put in videos, you can put in pictures, so a really cool way to chronicle things. It can be chronicling things that happen in your classroom. So making a timeline of your year with your students, putting in pictures, putting in big events. So you can use it that way to kind of show what's happening in your classroom and the celebration that we've gone through together. Certain things in competition. This one is a really slick way to create brackets. So I use this with who's the greatest president of all time, and it brackets them out, and then you can go through and have debates to figure out who's best. We've done this with most important events in history. We've done this with book characters, all kinds of different things. You can put in there whatever you want. But probably my favorite of the Flippity tools, oh, I got one more before the favorite one, is this one is gamifying. So it creates badges. You can put your own badges in to make some of their own. But what it does is it gives you skills. You can put skills in the spreadsheet, and when kids do certain tasks, it awards them badges. I think we might have the example. So if I did the example here, so these are the badges I have available. So if you look at Ada, it tells you what skills she has done, Google Slide Creator, Data Validator, and so forth. You click on each one, and it gives them a chart to see who has completed what skills. So you kind of keep track of the tasks and things that students have completed. And then finally, this could be used for multiple things. This could be for those breakout boxes. If you want to digitize a breakout instead of having the locks and things. You ever do a breakout box and reset the locks and mess it up?
Oh, yeah.
I've never done that. Why? What are you guys doing wrong? I do it all the time, which is why I love this tool, because now I don't have to worry about this. So I can go in here and create my own scavenger hunt. And I actually made one for you guys, but so you can click on any of these locks. It'll ask you a question. You can get a hint here. You type in your answer. When you get it right, or when you think you have it, you click the key, and if you get it right, it turns green. You can do these locks in any order that you want. And as part of this, I created a scavenger hunt for you if you want to participate in this. So here is the link, and we have 37 seconds left. So you can do it beyond the 37 seconds. I just need 37 seconds to get you the link before they hook me off the stage. So if you go to the bit.ly / capital T, capital S, hunt, you can practice this, and it says whoever has the fastest time, well, again, you try your best, you take a screenshot, and you send me your time. We might have an award or something, a prize or a handshake. Or I was going to have some books and we're moving, so I stuffed all my books in the box and I can't find them. And there's my time. So thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Ben. And again, you can do this on your own time. All right, last prize before the break. The Mad Hatters, anyone seen the Mad Hatters before? Yeah, they're really fun. They're an a cappella group from UW-Madison. They're going to be playing a show at the Ashwaubenon PAC on Saturday, April 6th, 2019 at 2 o'clock. If you win and this does not work out for you, our PAC manager will be more than willing to exchange this for an upcoming show that will, okay? So, with that, the winner is... I know, you don't click before they can see you. I know, you're legit. I get it.
Sarah Brody.
Sarah Brody. All right, Sarah. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to break out, because we're on train time, what we're going to do is, we're going to, just so I can make sure I try to get you guys out as close as what I said, we'll take, instead of 30 minutes, we'll go 20. And there's 2 breakout opportunities of our choice. One's in the discovery room around the corner where there's tables. The presenters, I didn't really talk about to you guys about this that much, but there are projectors and screens set up with signage that says where they're at. They can connect if you want to. If there's questions, you can ask them follow-up questions. Or you can just sit and talk. We don't get enough time to do that. So feel free to do that in the discovery room, enjoy some snacks, or you can go upstairs to the mezzanine and eat. Or you can explore the museum. Just remember, no snacks in the museum. It's like in the exhibits themselves. You have to stay in either the mezzanine or the discovery room. Again, take pictures, share out, Tundra 19. We'll see everyone back at 7:40. We'll make an all call in the museum too, so you'll know. Thank you.
Actually, tonight I really nothing valuable.
First question I want to ask is, how many of you suck at drawing? All right, so my wife and I, our friend group has been playing a lot of Telestrations lately. Anyone playing that game? And I always feel really bad for the person that's after me because you never know what I'm drawing. And that's actually, that Bitmoji is that's real life. That's me right there. That's me drawing. All right. So to kind of prove that, you guys are gonna do you guys are helping me out. I want you on your device to go to gg.gg/drawdog. And what's gonna open up is a Padlet. Just double click anywhere on the screen. Put your name in the title. Click on the 3 dots. Select draw. And then I would like for you to draw the best dog you can draw. Scott, be appropriate. All right. Giggles. All right. gg.gg/draw-a-dog. No, I should. Did you forget to start the timer, or am I that fast at talking? Perfect. That's fine.
You got a lot more time.
Perfect. This will, I won't use the whole time. All right, does everyone have the directions? So you're going to double click on the screen, put your name in the title, and then click on the 3 dots and select the draw tool. All right, we're gonna see how we're doing over here. I can go back if you need me to. Let me see. Oh, sorry, Tammy. Let me do this later. There, they're showing. All right, woof. All right. Aww. All right, I'll go back to the directions again. gg.gg/draw dog. Draw a dog.
3 dots.
Sorry.
Wait, where are you? Double click. Right your name.
All right.
Hit those 3 dots.
These are pretty impressive.
Shut up. It's just gonna pause you sitting person.
I like that I made you put your name so you have to own it. I love it. This is great. Oh, nice. This is a judgment-free zone. This is a judgment-free zone. These are great. I'm going to have to make a slideshow later. Okay. We'll look at those later. Alright, so here's the tool I want to show you. It's called Auto Draw. Alright, I'm going to do this with a mouse. I'm going to show you how Auto Draw works. Alright, so in Auto Draw, when you go to autodraw.com, you're going to get a bunch of different settings. Okay? You can use a select tool. There's an Auto Draw tool which uses artificial intelligence to predict what you're drawing. You can do straight draw, you can add text, you can fill, and then you also can download the image as a picture file, or you can just share the site. Okay? So when you're in Auto Draw, you want to make sure you select the Auto Draw tool. You can change the color. I want my dog to be brown, so I'm going to do my best with the mouse here. This is going to be great. This is a lot harder with the mouse than it is with the... Oh yeah, big ears. Alright, legs. Now this is a bunny. This is great. Oh my god. Hey, there you go. Look at that. It's going to lay off.
Wait,
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't clarify between your dog. See? So what this does is it uses artificial intelligence and it leverages Creative Commons images that you can use to auto draw. So that's pretty sweet. So let's talk about how we can use this. Okay? Well, sketch notes, infographics, illustrations. Again, if I were, I'm going to do this quickly to show easy. If I was a 4th grade science teacher and I wanted to talk about, the water cycle, I can quickly draw my cloud. Clearly a cloud, right? Yep. Fill it. I can switch. Draw my rain. Oops. Oh, sure. Blue sky. Let's do that. Draw my rain. There it is. Fill it. Okay. You know what? I want to scale this down. I can scale the whole thing down. All right. Now I need to draw my mountains. Perfect. All right. Slide these over here. My water. Oop. Oh, that's great water. I'm going to redo that one. Yeah, I'm not thanks. All right. Right there. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Thank you. All right. Finally, my son. Oop. All right, my shell later. Come on. I know, I'm told you I'm awesome at drawing. Come on. You gotta have a slot someplace. I am totally not posting up. And I have the water cycle. Right? So the cool thing about this though is you can really look at this about the content, not the artistic skill. The student can eliminate that because when I asked all of you to draw a dog, half of you were all about it, half of you had a moment of what? Panic, right? This takes that out and it makes it about, and pretty quickly you can make a fairly decent looking image. And with that, over time, that's auto. And don't worry, I will not tweet out all the dog pictures later, I promise. All right, next up. Oh, all right. Next prize. We got another $45 at Heartland and a Targus device case from Camera Corner. So Josh, go ahead, press the button.
I want the filler.
Sorry.
Oh, look at it.
The winner is. Suspense.
Yeah, I cannot wait. Nope, not me.
You. Aww.
Modeling myself from the list. All right, okay. All right. Ben Prezzo.
That's funny.
Never did I think that would happen.
Yeah.
No, I can't take it.
I'm going to say right now that this whole process is going to be questioned now. All right, here we go. Next up, sharing tour creators, Ashley and Jen.
All right. I'm Ashley from West of Here. This is Jen, also from West of Here. We're doing Tour Creator. Has anyone used Tour Creator before? Awesome. If you have not jumped into Tour Creator is one of those things that you can jump in and just play around with, and it's pretty cool. So Tour Creator, what it is it's actually a platform. It's an online tool, it's web-based, but you can create 360 tours with it. So think virtual field trips, think your projects, your kids doing research projects and presenting information this way. It honestly can be that field trip without actually leaving your classroom. So that's what's kind of cool about Tour Creator. What Jen just clicked on was actually a combination project with Ashwaubenon. It's Wisco VR, if you've never heard of that. If you Google search Wisco VR, our two districts have been working on going to some of these places. This is Fallen Timbers doing maple syrup. So a cool project to take your elementary kids to. And what it does is it gives you, so you can take 360 images if you have a 360 camera, but you can actually do it with just still photos too. So you can take pictures of the different locations, and then you actually can put in access points. So you get to type then what information you wanted that person to get from looking at that access point. So this is also viewable on a couple of different platforms. So you can pull it up on a computer or an iPad, or you can use the 360 like VR goggles and actually have that experience as well. But think about what you can do with students here. So a student putting this project together can take those pictures and then their research is presented this way. So pretty cool a project for them to even go out on location. I'm at the high school, so that's an option for those kids, is to maybe go and take those pictures themselves. And then do their research and present their information to a class this way, as opposed to just a traditional presentation of some kind. So there's that part of it. You saw some images that were also in there, so you can actually zoom in and make things bigger. So I forget what some of the images were on this particular field trip. So you can actually zoom in. So you're taking a 360 picture of the tree, but maybe you want to zoom in on how the tree is actually tapped. So you can put a close-up image of that and then put the information right next to it too. So this is all set up for you. It's actually pretty easy to use because it just gives you kind of a template and you walk through creating this tour yourself. Did I miss anything on that first slide? Perfect.
So Google Poly is where all the tours are stored publicly. So once you've created your tour, you can put them into Google Poly. From there, classes can go in and you can see all the tours that other people have created. So this one we did a search for Wisconsin. You can see the Making Maple Syrup one. There's Wisconsin Dells in here, all kinds of different tours that you can take your kids on that people have already done for you. Once they are in here, Android now has the option that if you use Google Expeditions, there's a My Library tab, and you can get to your tours and then show your kids your Google Expeditions from there. So you can control their tours, which you didn't used to be able to do with the ones that you've created. From here, go back to our slide. We knew we weren't going to have a whole lot of time to show you how to use Tour Creator, so there is a link down in the bottom, right? Somehow we'll get to it.
You can see that.
Yes, there's a link on there for a website, Free Technology for Teachers, and on there they have video directions for how to create a tour creator, and it walks you through the different steps of doing it. It's pretty simple to do. When I click on that Get Started from Tour Creator, you can see what it looks like. You can get started. You log in with your Google account, click on New Tour. You give your tour a title, give it a description, and then from there you're just uploading your pictures, giving it descriptions. You can add in more pictures as you need to. It's so simple to do it, and then that even kids can do it too. It might be under time.
Look at that. If you Google search Wisco VR, you'll find some of those things that Robin and I have been working on.
All right, everyone do me a favor and look at George and smile. We're taking a quick 360 selfie. Everyone look, right? Ready? Amy, get in here. Come on. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. That was it. Awesome. Thank you, George. You had to copy that. All right, the next prize is a $50 gift card at Complete Nutrition. If you haven't been there, they have really they have a wide range of products, but they also have really good smoothies and good stuff for lunch. So with that, Josh, you got one? Shindo! All right, next up is Amy with GeoGuessr.
All right, I have GeoGuessr. This is a really fun game that has many applications. So how many of you in this room feel like you are a world traveler? How many would like to be a world traveler in winter? I got a train we can take. All right, so in GeoGuessr it's a fun task. It's a fun game where it takes you somewhere in the world that you have to guess where it is. So it might be here, or it might be here, or it might be here, here. And what you have to do as the player, or students do as the players, is they have to use the visual clues to figure out where they are and then guess that location on a map. So it's a geographic discovery game. It uses Google Street View. You have to guess your location using all your visible clues around you. It was nice that they did the VR right before us because you get the concept of being able to look around and zoom in and zoom out. The closer you guess to your location, the more points you get. And it's 5 guesses per game, so maximum time of 15 minutes, which is great for our classrooms. The thing that I love about it is for our student learners is it really challenges them to consume content and look at their surroundings and use the technology they have available to them. They might find a road sign with a clue, and then they can Google it and see where that location is. It also encourages them to critically think by looking at their clues and putting pieces together and trying to solve it. So I'm going to have you go right into it. You can access it on any device. I'm going to show it up here, but hands-on, go ahead and do it on your own device. You can go through a web browser. You can download the app. For the sake of time tonight, I encourage you to do a web browser, even on your phones, because it will work perfectly. So I'm going to start with the daily challenge. Every day there is a new challenge of 5 questions, so I'm going to do that one first. And in this case, we have a 3-minute time for each question. So here I'm going to look around. Right away, what do you see? Palm trees, so you know you're in a certain area of the world. Well, we see some key phrases here that we could zoom in, we can look around, and you kind of use those signs. I could open a browser and I could search for these and see where they are. Does anybody have a guess off the top of their head? Oh, I don't think it's Pulaski. But I appreciate your thoughts. All right, what did somebody say? Yell it out again.
Thailand.
Help.
Right to the far right.
My husband knows my geographical limitations. So we guessed Thailand, and you can zoom in more if you want to get a little more granular as to where you select that spot, and we make a guess. And then it shows you how close you were. So here's where you guessed, here's where it is, and we were only 1,500 miles off, 910 points. So you can earn up to 5,000 points per guess. It is addicting, yes. So we'll go to the next round. And some of them are hard. So like here that I zoom around, I don't really see any clues. It looks like it could be Wisconsin, could be Michigan. You can go down the streets by just clicking the road ahead of you and try to find some signs, try to find some terrain, try to look at the architecture of the homes. Any guesses?
Cute girl.
Any guesses? We'll go to United States and we'll say Green Bay, Wisconsin. Good guess. So it was actually in Winnipeg. So some of them have a lot to look at and some of them have a little. In this case, I would scroll through the roads, try to find some landmarks, try to find some road signs, and etc. So I'm gonna just do some guesses here for the sake of time. We don't want to do Asia. I'm gonna go back to North America. It's a lot easier on a Mac because of pinch and zoom. I'm not. All right, so we'll go there. Oh, it was. So I just want to get you through the 5 questions here. Ottawa? I heard Ottawa. Let's try it. Great Britain, Wales? Oh. United Kingdom? Sure.
20 points.
Ooh. Nice. And I'm going to just do a quick guess here so we can wrap this up. But so those were our 5 questions. And then you can see how you did. So at the end, you can kind of go back and click on these waypoints. It will take you back to that image and give you a little more information about them. So this one was in Saskatchewan and location. A couple things that I want to point out real quickly is I showed you the daily challenge. There is, however, just other maps that you can access. So browse maps here. It doesn't just have to be a one-time get what you can get snapshot. There's famous landmarks, there's capitals, there's just United States. So many other maps that you can play. So I encourage you to check it out.
Nice job. All right, the next prize giveaway is a gift bag from Western Racket and Fitness, including a 3-month membership, as well as some other goodies. All right, Josh, pressure's on.
It's almost a private. It's not. It's Dawn Rats.
Hey! All right, Dawn.
Go ahead.
Next up is Dale to talk about Tinkercad. All right.
All right, how many people are familiar with Tinkercad? Just a show of hands, or how about make a noise like tink tink? All right, not the majority of the room. So Tinkercad is a computer-aided design, web-based tool that allows you to make models, 3-dimensional models, of pretty much anything your heart desires. And if you ever look at the Tinkercad gallery at tinkercad.com,
I encourage you to do so, because there are some amazing things that people have made. Just starting off with basic shapes, basic primitives like this block where you just get one on there, resize it, add another, cut pieces away, things like that. So that's what it's essentially known for. That's where it started, is making these 3D models. And of course, you can take those models and put those to your 3D printer. So if you have access to a 3D printer, you can print those out. What I'm printing right here is a project that we just finished up with our 6th grade students. They're actually making little print blocks, and they did they did self-portraits. I was confused. They did self-portraits of themselves, and then we used ink, and then we plotted them down. We're doing an Andy Warhol study, and this was a way for them to kind of combine art and manufacturing into that, so we printed out those in there. But just to back up, you can also, if you look at these icons, so far does this cord go? That far. If you look at the icons across the top, there are some options to actually convert your model. If you make a dinosaur, you can convert your dinosaur to be something that can go into the Minecraft world. You can convert your dinosaur into something that can later be turned into actual Legos. And what's really cool about this is you take your model, and it'll give you, like if you've ever done Lego, the page by page of how to make it layer by layer. So some people are like, oh, this is great, I don't have a 3D printer. Lego is a way to kind of tackle that, so you can put these models in there. So that's an actual model there. And that's something that Tinkercad has expanded into. And that's one thing I want to point out, is it doesn't have to be 3D printed. It could be a world that students can look into or model. You can model a street from a book, the setting of a book, things like that. The other thing that Tinkercad has expanded into, all of this, by the way, brought to you by Autodesk, which probably helped design this building, because Autodesk makes all the software that's done for AutoCAD, just oodles and oodles of different design software. Pretty much every Pixar movie you watched and all the special effects has all got Autodesk underneath it. And they give all their software away for free for education. This is all web-based. So you can also take these parts and make little bitty circuits. So take a little coin battery, put an LED light on there, and get things to light up. Then you can kind of combine the two things. So take the modeling aspect of the 3D printing, make some sort of holder then that actually puts the two pieces together, and kind of building different things for that. So they've added in circuits for a complete simulation. The thing here is you can tinker with it and not get frustrated with your wires and all those kinds of things. Get your plan out and then move to the actual circuit. So that's what's nice about that. I did this with an Arduino, which is a microprocessor. I did this with, these are again 6th graders. They made their models the day before, wrote their programs in the simulation the day before, then put it together and got their system going, and got like 3 lights to blink, wrote the code, and they had something like this. I knew it was working when I had 6th graders on their own searching on Amazon how to buy this kit. I was like, oh, this is working, so that's perfect. So that's one aspect they've branched into. They've also gone into what's called code blocks, where you can program the pieces to go onto the screen, rotate, flip, grow, do things, and you can make sort of an animation. And you can make a model that is coded out. Now, one thing you might ask is, well, why would I code out my model? Why would I need to do that, other than just to have a cool Lambeau Field kind of looking thing? Not really practical, but if you want to make something that is very like geometrical, so if you want like a fractal base, so that's really like rotate, repeat, rotate, repeat, rotate, repeat. That's very good for programming. And that's what we want to teach kids, is like the machine can do the repeatable task, no problem. The machine can do the math and just crank through it. So that's where the code block side comes through. And I got 10 seconds. Under this section, take a look at Gallery, Learn, and Teach. But what's nice is Teach allows you to moderate your students. The students get a code. You can see all of them on your list, put them in groups. You can go in and control their models, help them out, and help them finish. And so there is that whole educator side of it that lets you control all of that. And I'm out.
And he's back. Thanks. All right, awesome job, Dale. All right, The next prize giveaway is a 1-year free membership to the Neville Public Museum, which is a very cool place to stay. Josh, go ahead. Run. Yeah, stay up here. You don't have to leave. Never leave. Yep. All right. All right, our last presenter is Sarah, talking about presentation strategies.
Hello. So yes, I didn't want to really tell you what I was going to talk about because there's a reason. So based on this image, what do you think my presentation is going to be about? What? Fake news? Close. Any other guesses? Writing? No guesses, really? Anybody? No, well actually, okay. So it's about wordless news. And I teach at De Pere, 6th grade teacher, and we are having our kids present every quarter for us, and it's frustrating as a teacher, I think, to come up and watch our kids, look at the screen while they present. So I'm just thinking all the time, like, what can I get our kids to do to become better presenters, really, is what my goal is with this. And it's not necessarily a tool that I'm using for technology, but a strategy with some tools. So there's a website called Wordless News, and our literacy coach gave me this idea, because if you Google it, it's basically this lady who has created these images, and you click on it, and you get to a word site. So or to a news article, essentially, is what it is, because they're presenting out for current events. So I had my kids, for our current events articles, or current events presentations for the second quarter, I'm like, what is a better way to get them to become, look at their audience and actually talk? So they had to create an image of whatever their current event was going to be about. And then that was their way to hook their audience in and get them looking at the presenter, because I felt like Google Slides, they turn and they look at the screen, all those things. So I'm like, how can I actually be engaged in these presentations rather than sitting there and twiddling my thumbs while they're talking up here? So creating an image was a way to do that. And I just, every kid had to come up and there was their way to hook their audience into their presentation. So any guesses on what this student presented about? Yeah, it was about an article, I believe, about the extinction, or not the extinction, but how they were, oops, I gotta go back here. How do I get on this link? There we go. So as you see here, I have wordless news, but then what I ended up doing is having the students, they had to create an image, and it was their hook to get them talking and actually facing their presenter, becoming good presenters about their current event rather than just looking at the screen. And they had to upload their image, so they had to draw their image, take a picture of their image, and then I created a Google site, so they had to upload their image. And then it was also a great way to share with parents what the kids were presenting on, and a good way for them. So if I click on any student here, you can see, let's see, Scott, should I go to Ian? Where's Ian? Ian M, yep, here we go. So if you click on it, then it would go right to their video, and then here's their presentation of them talking. So it was just a great way to get my kids more engaging with their presentations, get their audience involved, because I just said, it's, 6th graders, obviously they're kind of quiet when they get up in front of a stage and have to talk, and this was a great way to get their audience engaged and actually interested in what they were talking about. So then we just added the technology piece to it as well, and it's been a great resource for not only for the kids to use, but for parents as well, so they can go there and see how their kids are improving every quarter as far as presenting goes. So yeah, that's it.
All right. So show something really quick. Yeah. Awesome. All right. So, prior Prize 10 giveaway. I'm a little biased on this one. My son is the assistant stage manager for the show. But Little Shop of Horrors will be the next show of Burner Players, which is in the Broadway Theater, which is on Broadway in De Pere, right next to the Walgreens. My brain wasn't working. All right, so again, I actually run the ticket office there, so if this night doesn't work for you, we can exchange it with another show. After Little Shop, they're going to be doing Joseph as well as a high school production of Wizard of Oz, so there's choices. All right, so Josh, go ahead.
Is Emily Jubert?
All right. Okay, so I'm going to change this up a little bit just for the interest of time. I know the plan today was to be done by 8:30. So instead of breaking out and coming back, what I'm going to do is this. We are going to, I'm going to show you the exit ticket, and we're going to do our grand prize giveaway, which is pretty awesome. And then you will have the ability to go to the breakout rooms, do what we just did again. There's some water and some snacks available, but also I get that it's a Wednesday night too, so if you want to head out, that is A-okay. So again, tomorrow I will be posting the video and the slides for people to access. And with that, so this is really cool. I literally just sent them an email saying, this is what ToolSlam's all about. Would you want to donate a prize? And Logical Player said, how about one night stay, dinner for two, and two 50-minute spas? I went, oh, okay. So it's a pretty awesome prize. So, the exit ticket is up there. Please, when you get an opportunity to fill out the exit ticket, we do take your feedback seriously. One of the things that's neat, I said we did have almost 40% of you that this was your first time, but we have a lot of people that come back to this every year. The first year we did this, I think we maybe had 60 people, and then every year it's creeped up. And this year, like I said, it sold out, or filled up in 48 hours. You know, people have asked, will we change to a different venue? I love this venue because it's tight, it's quiet. I mean, it's downtown, we get to escape school a little bit. There's places that just kind of go and mingle, and you know, we could go bigger, but then I think we lose some of this. So this is a great event. Again, when you get an opportunity to leave, when you leave, please thank the staff at the Neville for hosting us. And with that, Josh, the grand prize winner.
Be clear, this is a trash picker. Everybody's in for this one.
Everybody's in.
Not the response.
Okay.
Here we go. Ooh, and it's rolling like a lot on this time. Jamie Somerville!
So again, thank you all for coming. We will, the presenters will hang out in around the discovery room. If you want to talk about any of the tools we share, we will gladly do that. Otherwise, the mezzanine and the museum will be open until, let's say, Ben or Ryan with good time.
Oh, we'll be here for a while.
Okay, so I would say, let's plan on at least till 8:45 if you want to hang out. And with that, thank you so much for coming. We definitely will be planning Tundra 20. Sounds crazy. And hopefully the weather will cooperate and we won't have any rain. But thank you guys.